Mesopotamian civilization in less than 6 minutes. Let's go. The Mesopotamian civilization is one of the 4 main civilizations that started next to rivers. In fact, it started between 2 rivers, Euphrates and Tigris. They are located in modern-day Iraq. This timeline begins with the last few years of Copper Age, which is around 3500 BC. The first people who controlled this land were the Sumerians. Their civilization was named Sumer. It was a group of city-states which the centers of were ziggurats, or temples. They invented the first writing system called cuneiform. It was primarily used for tracking taxes and trades between different parties. At the end, the Sumerians were defeated by the Akkadians. After the fall of Sumerians, the Bronze Age began, and with the Akkadian Empire, of which the most important ruler was Sargon. He centralized the divided city-states and improved the military with both professional and slave army. The end of the empire is fully unknown to this day. The historians are divided between the main reason for its end being change of climate or the start of the Sumerian Renaissance, which included many attacks on Gutians. And meanwhile, all Mesopotamian records point towards a big flood which is mentioned in many different surviving cuneiforms and is also known for storing many different historical texts, including the Hebrew Bible. The fall of empire gave an opportunity to a small city-state called Ur, to be precise, the 3rd dynasty of Ur. The most important king of Ur was Ur-Nammu, which created the first ever code of law, but it didn't survive fully. The fall of the 3rd dynasty of Ur came due to the invasion of Amorites. Next in line was the Old Babylonian Empire led by the Amorites, the leader of which was Hammurabi, who was a despot, which means that he ruled with absolute power. He claimed that his power to rule was given to him by gods, so nobody would oppose his rule. His main contribution were centralization of city-states, hierarchy in society, and his code law named by him. Hammurabi's code included the Talion principle, which says that criminals should receive as punishments precisely those injuries and damages they have inflicted upon their victims. In Hebrew Bible, this principle is known as eye for an eye. Old Babylonian Empire fell to the invasion of the Hittites, who had first iron equipment, giving them an edge in many battles. The defeat of the Old Babylonian Empire started a period of Hittite rule. Hittites were great soldiers. They created battle chariots and first used iron, starting the Iron Age and ending the Bronze Age. They also had their own code of law. One thing to mention is that Hittites also battled Egyptians, which were around the same time as Assyria. But I'll go over this in another video, which is gonna be all about Egypt. But at the end, Hittites were overpowered by Assyria. Now Assyrian Empire took over the land by power. Its last king was Ashurbanipal. He expanded the empire to its biggest size. He accomplished that by a mass use of iron, especially in his army, and ruthless conditions he imposed on non-Assyrian people living in empire. He also created a library of Ashurbanipal, also known as Library of Nineveh. It included many great works of time, including the Epic of Gilgamesh, known as the oldest discovered work of literature. The library of Ashurbanipal met its end in fire. After Ashurbanipal's death, the empire fell into a great crisis, and after many revolts and invasions of Medes, the empire could no longer keep it together and was destroyed by Medes and other people who were ruthlessly oppressed under Assyrian rule. After the fall of the Neo-Assyrian Empire, the new empire was created by the people who were previously under Assyrian rule. The new empire was called Neo-Babylonian Empire and was led by Chaldeans, while still having many other people in it. The important ruler of this era was Nebuchadnezzar II. At the beginning of his rule, he was a conqueror, also claiming kingdom of Judea, where he destroyed Solomon's temple and started Babylonian captivity. He rebuilt most of Babylon. Some of the buildings built are many different ziggurats, Ishtar's Gate, and Hanging Gardens. The new Babylonian Empire ended with the conquest of Persia, though some sources say that there was no actual battle. The Persian conquest of Babylon led Cyrus II, who wasn't as merciless leader as Nebuchadnezzar II. He led people like Jews back to their homelands after the captivity. In his time of rule, the Persian Empire was at its largest size and was the largest empire to ever exist. Later, Darius I expanded the empire to the Europe and River Ind. At the end, Alexander the Great conquered the Persian Empire in 4th century BC and made it part of the Roman Empire, thus ending the Mesopotamian rule. For the end, I have here something to help you study. Feel free to screenshot if you need it. Of course, for anybody new, these summaries are super short. Only the basic things that my school system requires of me. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you subscribe, leave a like, maybe comment if you have something you want to say, if you think I made a mistake, but I think that's all for me. Na svidanje.